Hello out there in YouTube world. It's another episode of the Carolina Sports Guy. Today, we're going to talk about the history of the Charlotte Hornets / Bobcats. But we're going to go back and look at the history of the Charlotte Hornets for the past 2004 all the way up probably to 2017. Some of the missed draft calculations this franchise has made. Who would have been a better draft pick? Why did we pick who we did? Just kind of going back, I'm not going to focus on every year. I want to look at some of these years where we made some crucial mistakes in who we drafted. Before we get into this video, if you're not a subscriber to this channel, please subscribe. It's free, doesn't cost anything. And if you got any comments, like to see something else you want me to cover from the Hornets, or likewise the other teams, just leave me a comment, let me know, and we'll go from there. All right, and looking at the Charlotte Hornets was definitely I'm going to break up different videos. And one video we're probably going to end up doing, we're going to cover the Hornets, the early years under George Shinn's ownership, to the Bobcats and Bob Johnson, and then kind of even focus from Jordan on as we rebranded as the Hornets. So I'm kind of going back as not the old Hornets, but kind of starting with the Bobcats / new Hornets, I guess you'd say. First draft I want to look at, I'm going to kind of go from 2005 all the way up to 2017. Now you might say, well, Uncle Chuck, why didn't you include 2018, 2019, 2020? Well, 2020, LaMelo Ball has definitely looked the part. And kind of hard to really judge that. God forbid something happened tragically and he never played again, say it today or tomorrow, whatever. Hope not. He definitely looks like Rookie of the Year. So it's too early to let that cat out of the bag. We'll talk about it later. 2019, P.J. Washington, yeah, we could have some other picks. Not a bad pick. He's played pretty well. At 2018, Miles Bridges, I really love his game. My God, he's a fabulous dunker. And just a great pick I think we've had. I want to go back before then, though. A couple drafts I've left off because we either didn't do a bad pick or really didn't have a pick or not one worth talking about. First year we're going to go in is 2005. 2005, Bobcats / Hornets. And I'll say Bobcats / Hornets, but we're talking about the Charlotte Bobcats. Had 2 picks that year. Pick number 5, which was Raymond Felton. It really stuck because here's another year New Orleans not only got the name Hornets to begin with and ended up getting the franchise that was ours, it kind of screwed us a couple times in the draft. And this is one where they drafted number 4, picked Chris Paul out of Wake Forest. I'm more of a Tar Heel fan than a Demon Deacon fan, but Chris Paul definitely to me was the better point guard as opposed to Raymond Felton. Felton was a nice consolation prize at number 5. It's kind of hard to argue that. Problem I have with this draft, folks, as I'm looking down the list here, Sean May, who played at UNC, great power forward, big man for the Tar Heels, was instrumental in their championship run in 2005. But the problem was Danny Grainger from New Mexico was drafted by the Indiana Pacers at 17. He went on to have more of an illustrious career. He would have been a better draft pick. So this is one of the big mistakes this organization made early on. Even if you would have taken both of those picks, 5 and 13, seeing if you could have got New Orleans to trade us 4 for those and gotten Chris Paul, it'd have been better. But anyway, the very next pick, the year I want to talk about, would be 2006. Here again, we are the Charlotte Bobcats. Number 3 pick was Adam Morrison out of Gonzaga. I mean, he had the stash, he had the wild kind of long hair, he looked pretty good, great college player. His NBA game was terrible. I understand he got hurt. I feel bad for him. Plus, he was diabetic. But look who was on the board. I know number 6, Brandon Roy from Washington. I believe he ended up playing for Portland. I don't know if Portland drafted him. But the sad thing is, I don't think Brandon Roy wanted to play on the East Coast. But it would have been a better pick. Number 8, Rudy Gay. Sure, he would have played for us. Had a pretty good career with Memphis and other teams. And, he was drafted, I believe, by Houston. He would have been a better pick. And even number 11, J.J. Redick, the guard, who's played forever for Orlando and been around the block, played for many teams. Think, well, J.J. Redick, who knew he would have had a career like he did? But definitely would have been a better pick than Adam Morrison. Then we'll look at the number 3 draft pick, the number 3 pick here. 2008, DJ Augustine, we picked number 19. just never really fit in, guys, with what we had. I just thought it was a terrible pick. Number 24, Seattle was still in the league at this time. They took Serge Ibaka, who ended up at Oklahoma City. Would have been a better pick. Look at number 26 pick that year. The San Antonio Spurs picked up George Hill, who ended up playing later on for Indiana. These were two good picks we could have had. Just terrible draft calculations by the Hornets taking DJ Augustine. The Lopez brothers were on the board as well, I believe. Number 4, we're going to look at the 2009 draft by the Hornets. Number 12, Gerald Henderson that played at Duke. Not a good pick. It's a shame that year because I believe that's the year that Steph Curry was on the board, and I know we would have picked him if we'd have had like the 6th or 7th pick. Golden State was ahead of us. They got him, to the victor go to spoils, and even though they were losers that year, they ended up with him, and that was good for them. But in that year, we picked Gerald Henderson. We could have had Drew Holiday, who was drafted by Philadelphia at number 16, or Jeff Teague. If you're taking Gerald Henderson out of Duke, Jeff Teague played it for Wake Forest, was drafted number 19 out of Atlanta, had a more illustrious career. All right, the 5th year I want to look at is 2011. This is a big one. I can't go wrong. We had 2 picks. I believe Sacramento traded us a pick for number 7, and we picked Bismack Biyombo. He's played for the Hornets, was a Bobcats then. Hornets went to Toronto, I believe, made a play for someone else. He's back with the Hornets. Not a terrible player, but I look at that pick because number 9 was Kemba Walker. That was a great pick. One of the greatest players in Hornets history. Beloved love Kemba Walker. Hate to see him leave. Now, with the way the squad looks right now, we'll get into that later. It's not hurting us too bad with what we've had with Rozier and Ball and Devontae Graham. But Kemba Walker was a great pick at number 9. But think about if we'd taken number 7 and traded down and traded with somebody and taken number 11. Klay Thompson went to Golden State at number 11. Kemba with Klay Thompson. Imagine that. So they don't want a shooting guard? What about the 15th pick? Indiana, who I believe later traded the pick to San Antonio, Kawhi Leonard. Imagine Kemba Walker with Kawhi Leonard. Imagine that. Later on in that draft, we could have had either one of those players. As a matter of fact, you could have taken the pick with Biyombo and taken Klay Thompson, and we could have taken, moved up in the draft for the 19th pick. We took Tobias Harris, who's a pretty good player, it's turned out to be, but not for us. And we could have got Kawhi Leonard at 15. But even in that draft, if you'd have traded number 19 down, look who was on the board at number 30. He went to Philadelphia. Jimmy Butler. We missed out on a lot of great talent between Klay Thompson and Jimmy Butler, Kawhi Leonard in that draft. We did come away with Kemba Walker, so the draft wasn't a total failure. But Biyombo, and even getting Tobias Harris, we didn't use him like we should have. He didn't blossom for us. Should have come away with more in that draft. Probably wouldn't have been a cellar dweller team. We probably would have had some playoff runs. All right, going on from there. Number 6, the 2012 NBA draft. Here is where the New Orleans Hornets, I say the Hornets, I believe they still were the Hornets. The New Orleans franchise screwed the Charlotte Bobcats / Charlotte Hornets in this draft because we had the worst team that year. Now, we should have got Anthony Davis. New Orleans wins the lottery, they get Anthony Davis. We got second prize. Who was that? We took Michael Kidd-Gilchrist. Now, I like this game. He hustled, but he wasn't the second best player in the draft. We could have had Bradley Beal, who played at Washington, who went number 3. We could have even had Damian Lillard at number 6, who was drafted by Portland. And number 9, even Andre Drummond. Many Hornet fans talk about Drummond to this day, bringing him as the center that we need. We could have had him at number 9. He went to Detroit. So we really screwed the pooch on the 2012 draft by taking Michael Kidd-Gilchrist. Number 7, the 2013 NBA draft. It's not really such a terrible draft, as I'll look at and say. We took Cody Zeller at number 4. It's not terrible. But look who went number 10, C.J. McCollum, who plays for Portland. Of course, it's a guard. We needed a big man. But Steven Adams was there, number 12. The big Kiwi, who was drafted by Oklahoma City. That would have been a better pick, in my opinion. That's a big man we could have used. Number 8, 2014 draft. Noah Vonleh from Indiana. Guys, could have had number 13, Zach LaVine from UCLA. I believe Was drafted by Minnesota, ended up with Chicago. We could even had Clint Capella at number 25 that was drafted by the Houston Rockets. Number 9, Frank Kaminsky. And I thought Kaminsky was going to be good. And a lot of times I was really worried maybe we should have taken a Duke player, Winston Justice. We should have taken him. But we could have had Devin Booker, who was drafted by Phoenix at number 13. Later on in that draft, number 16, Terry Rozier by Boston. Now, I'm glad we got him now, but we could have had him earlier. Kaminsky was, he never panned out for us during this period of time. Okay? Number 10, 2017 draft. I know it's coming up to closer. What we have now, Malik Monk. Now, he's still salvageable. This year's proving that Malik Monk's coming into his own can be valuable. I don't know if we can hold on to him. If he still wants to play here, I wish he would. But Malik Monk was taken at number 11. Look who was still on the board. Number 13, Donovan Mitchell. It would have been a damn sure better pick at the time. I know they wanted Monk for shooting, but Mitchell with Kemba at the time would have been a hell of a backcourt. And I believe Denver drafted him. Utah ended up with his rights, I believe. Number 14, even right here, grew up in eastern North Carolina. Bam Adebayo, played at Kentucky, was drafted by Miami. We could have used him. And number 19, Wake Forest, John Collins, drafted by Atlanta. There's been rumors about us trying to get John Collins from Atlanta. So Malik Monk, I got Cody Zeller on the brain just to show you that pick hadn't gone on in my head. Malik Monk, I'm not ruling a book out on him, but we'll see by the end of this year what goes down, what happens. All right, looking at those picks, I'm going to say we'll end it there because 2018 we get Miles Bridges. That's great. 2019 we get P.J. Washington. I can't complain so far. And in 2020 LaMelo Ball so far, that's really looked good. So I'm hoping after this Malik Monk picking, maybe we can salvage him like I said, and all will be forgiven. But when I start to look at Monk and what it could be and what we could have had, I look at Kaminsky and he's not even with the team anymore. I think he's out of the league. I look at Noah Vonleh, what a wasted pick that was. Cody Zeller's still there, and he's a good player. But what we could have had is Steven Adams or C.J. McCollum. Guys, I'm just hoping the last few years is the future of how we draft. And we can finally start putting together playoff squads, getting in the playoffs. Winning our first series ever would be great and fabulous. Now, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. It's free, it doesn't cost anything. Leave me some comments, let me know what you think. Please hit the pound that like button and subscribe. And we'll see you the next time on the Carolina Sports Guy.